What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kara. Today's video we will be constructing my Fiber Notes binders. So here's a sneak peek of how they turned out. I think this last bit of the project ended up being 10 hours of work maybe, but definitely worth it. These are really awesome. I'm glad I have them to reference for the rest of my spinning career. Tag along with me as I put these together today. So first I started off with, this was my list that I was running off of as I was picking samples, except for the last couple weeks. So for the most part, I did kind of write down what I loved, what I liked, what I definitely didn't like. I went through all of my videos just to kind of confirm, and there were stuff that I missed marking on this list. So I've now gone through my videos and just making sure that, like, okay, everything I loved, I have my love category, my like category, and then I broke down the rest of everything else into okay. So the stuff that, like, breeds that if I was stuck on a stranded island with and I didn't have anything else to spin, I wouldn't be upset about. Stuff that I just didn't like mainly because it was breeds that I wouldn't reach for. So all of those, like, really coarse, more hairy, what I called long and hairy. I don't really know if that's kind of the proper way to describe those breeds. I did put all my list as like breed and then non-wool. So this is stuff that I didn't hate, but I would never reach for because it's not what I'm looking for. And then I have a short of never again list. Now I'm going to go into Canva and put together my notes templates. I decided this is how I'm going to group it in my binder, so I'm just going to go in and name them, and then I also want to put in pictures of all the breeds. Haven't decided if I'm going to do that for the non-wools. I'm going to say probably not, but for the breeds, I think that would be a fun little extra to have, to see what they all look like. So let's do that. So I have my notes printed out. I sorted them by my sections, love, like, etc. I don't really know how I am gonna go about actually sorting stuff because my samples are all in just one bin together. So my best bet is probably to pull a sample out and then sort through here till I find the sheet it's on, and then I'm going to attach the sample to it. I think what I'm going to do is get a needle and thread and kind of attach it that way. I don't really want to tape stuff because all the fibers are going to get on the tape and make the tape all messy and probably make the tape fall off. As much as I would like to just go in order here, I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a hot mess sample wise. So I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, I've decided first that I'm going to fold and hole punch all my pages and put them in the binders. I'm foreseeing needing at least 2. I have 3, so I'm probably gonna put my likes. I think what's gonna end up happening is loves and likes might get their own binder, and then not the rest will get their own. That way that'll keep what I'm not working on kind of out of my way, and I can actually see how much room I'm working with. I've got my binders. Likes and loves will probably need to be split up between 2 binders because that's already pretty full, and once I put the samples in, it's gonna be huge. Here's the rest of them, so that'll be pretty okay. So I do foresee this one being split down into another 2. Time to figure out how to get the samples in there. this took me 4.5 hours. I haven't even put the notes in yet. But anyways, it's already looking so good. So I sewed in all of the samples. And next I'm going to go in and actually go through my videos and write my notes. And I kind of know where everything is for the most part for doing this. I have a binder of loves, likes, and everything else. So at some point I'm also gonna make a little like tag and tack to the side some labels so I know what's what. I realized while I was doing this that I had like 5 stars in my notes here so that I could like fill in how many stars I like. They didn't print. I made them too light in Canva, so they didn't print. I feel like I have a little like stencil, a 5-star stencil somewhere. I don't know. I'm gonna circle back to that. Do I know where this stencil might be? Not really. Do I want to go look for it? Also not really. So we'll see what I end up doing, because I wanted like a quick way to see like, okay, to sum it up, how many out of 5 stars did I think of this sample? So whether or not I keep to that or I find another system, maybe I'll literally write 3.5 out of 5. We'll see. I was kind of excited for the 5-star because I think that would have been cute. That's what I'm gonna work on today. And I also want to put in at least one of these, a little like note description of what this project is, why I wanted to do this project, what I ended up getting out of this project, just so that like, you know, in 10 years, I'll know what the heck is happening in here. Although I'm pretty sure I won't forget. I just think that would be nice if I wanted to pass this along to anybody. So let's get note-taking. So I just finished my binder of loves, which is my stack. Some of these I am gonna need to respin and take more notes on, like for flax. I didn't say anything in my video about why I liked it, just that I really liked it. Especially ones from earlier on in my study in the series. I was still figuring out what I was looking for, like what characteristics I was grading on. I don't have quite as much information as I would like, so I'm going to respin some of these, and like flax is going to be an easy one because I've already decided that I want to hand spin for like a tank top or a t-shirt or something. Yeah, so now I'm going to put the stack back in the binder and move on to the next one. I did find a stencil with stars, but ultimately I decided not to use my star ranking just because like some of these are like comparing apples to oranges. So it's not fair to give them the same grading. I think my categories of love, like, and everything else is enough for me. Because there's stuff in here that I love, but is very different. So, you know, depending on what it is I'm looking for a project or for a yarn, will depend on what I ultimately end up picking. So I think there are definitely some, like, top favorites. And I will definitely be adding which ones I, like, would buy a fleece of. But, like, for example, the Cotswold, I put it in a love because of how much I enjoyed spinning it, but this is not necessarily something that I might reach for as much as some of the other things in here, because it's a very low elasticity yarn, but that's how much I liked the actual act of spinning it. That was more important to me. This is one thing that I probably wouldn't buy a fleece of, but maybe I'd buy a couple braids of, you know? That's why I decided to nix my star rating and just go with my thoughts on the experience of the spin and whether or not I would use that yarn for something, I think is what comes down to it. So yeah, I'm going to put these back in the binder and move on to the next one. Got my 3 binders. Got all my notes taken. I did end up doing some reorganizing. There were some that I had in the likes binder that really needed to be in the won't reach for binder. Cause yeah, there were things that I did like spinning it. It's not something that I would ever really reach for. Knitting, maybe weaving. The stuff in this binder would definitely be good for weaving, especially stuff that needs to be like hardy textile, upholstery type stuff. That's what mainly this binder is kind of now. So a lot of stuff got moved from here to here. Yeah, they are pretty full. I'm excited about this. So most of the notes that I took today were comments that I made in my videos and information taken out of the Fleece and Fiber source book. So I decided that once I read through and learn about some of the other plant fibers and viscose fibers, that then I will come back and update info on those. Just because what I was saying in my videos was a lot of, I don't really know much about this, I like it, or I'm intrigued and want to learn more. So when I do learn more, I will add my findings later. All that's left is to label them. But I will give you a little view of what they look like, of at least what the love looks like in here. Nothing in any of the binders is in any particular order, not even alphabetically. Literally just the order that I wrote it down. So I've got my samples, my thoughts, like this is like the information about it, and these were kind of like my thoughts down here. So yeah, I think this will definitely be a good reference for figuring out what I want to continue working with throughout my spinning journey. But yeah, I'm really glad I put the pictures in, because I think those are really fun. I mean, are you really a fiber artist if you don't think that sheep are super cute? You know, I don't know. So these are really full. While yes, I did end up doing, I think closer to, I probably did about 80 samples, and there are still a ton of breeds that I haven't done. Like I thought I'd had some Chevy in this mix. I do not. I know there's like no merino or any of the merino umbrella breeds in here. So yeah, I think I will continue to collect stuff to sample and do more of this. Whether or not I will do videos on them, that will depend on if I like get a bunch of stuff at the same time and I'm like, oh, here's an extra video, here's a bonus video. So we'll see what happens. I mean, festival season is upon us, so although the ones near me aren't until like August, September, I don't know, we'll see. I might make a list of stuff that I haven't tried, and if I find anything on that list, I will pick up some little bits of it. Anyways, yeah, so that's the end of my fiber study. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you maybe found out about some stuff you didn't know existed. I'm excited for the next project. That's really all I can say. Thanks for watching. Thank you for being here. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.